Well, greetings everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Metaworld News, or should I say MBTV News. Nice little twist to that, you see, because MB could be my name. It is my name,
It
Mal
is.
Burns Television News. But actually it's Metaworld Television News. Or it's both. Maybe we'll have two different ones at some point in time. Anyway, it's the fast version, as it were. I'm going to be going through things more rapidly than normal because we're clearing up our things for the next hour in another show, so to speak. So, as I said, my name is Mal Burns. That's M-A-L, one word, B-U-R-N-S, another word. But on the interwebs, quite naturally, I've been squashed. Therefore, you'll find my Twitter account at twitter.com/Mal Burns, M-A-L-B-U-R-N-S, and you'll find an additional account at twitter.com/MetaWorld News. Once again, two words squashed together. And that's about it, except that there's another bloke here. His name is James Atlloud. Hello, James.
Well, hello, Mal. Here we are again.
Here we are again. Yes, so trials and
Sort of.
tribulations, but we are here.
Right. Some of us are a little larger than others, but
Oh yes, I've been on bodybuilding exercises,
yeah,
but
doing
no,
working on
no,
your
no,
on your
no,
shoulders.
I've got a horrible feeling that we're doing another show in an hour's time. I might have shrunk again, but never mind. Such is the beauty of the metaverse. You
It
can
is
shrink
of the
or
virtual world.
expand, shrink or expand on demand, and I won't start coming up with parallels on that one. Right. So, yeah, James, of course, is fiddling with all the knobs that combine the pictures and everything together here for me, and it contributes a bit on the news front too when something appropriate comes along. So, we'll look at news from virtual worlds and immersive spaces online. That is our brief, so to speak. Not the general metaverse, whatever the hell that is these days. However, we do look a little bit at technology and haptics where they're relevant to the art of experiencing immersive spaces. So, to get going, pretty little picture here, isn't it? I'm going to keep that one
It is
around.
cool. Yeah.
That is just a filler while we're opening the show, so there's something to see there. Um, right, this. Oh, I forget where there is. I think this is in Spatial, and it's an advert for a concert in World called Hype Type. The concerts are really small there. I don't really know much more about that, but I think you have to buy tickets for it, so it's not too wonderful. Um, oh, yeah, another nice graphic. In fact, that's a lovely graphic in its own sort of way. I do like clipping graphics. And another one here. Any graphics of avatars and virtual worlds that I think are good, I put there. And what we got here. Oh, yeah, this is interesting. I mentioned this last week. We had the first episode, Wall Street Journal. In America, have been doing a series called Building the Metaverse. The second episode I'll have for you a bit later, or at least I'll have the link for it. Um, it's not video, it's just audio, but that's the interviewer, Philip Rosedale, who we get to see there's the back of his head, but I don't know. It looks like they were ready to film something. That could almost be a green room that they're in. But it's a good photo, and I was kind of struck by what obviously they just did audio. They didn't need to light them up. But never mind, never mind. So I'm moving on from the pics, as I've got them listed here, to the clips. Right, this is the other department. And I'm going to run through a few things very quickly. This is the launch video for Think Reality, which of course is from Lenovo. And here we go.
So you can train your team, letting them get hands-on, literally, gaining real experience for lasting results. Bring your hybrid workforces together to keep them collaborating and creativity flowing. Engineer that next big thing, or learn in safe, repeatable, and exciting new ways. Whatever your business, the Think Reality VRX was built with you in mind. Privacy, security, supports, yeah, those are our top priorities too. But you need to think ahead, which means advanced optics and color mixed reality pass-through, so the real world can meet the virtual one. And versatility, giving you control over how your experiences get powered and how they're developed. All backed by Lenovo, a true enterprise partner ready to support your needs and scale your solution into the metaverse. The Lenovo Think Reality VRX.
VRX. Yes, indeed. In the news too, the Nreal Light, which I find quite palatable, but it's almost the size of a pair of glasses. And I've indeed been looking for it for several weeks. I did eventually find it, and earlier this week I bought the adapter for the iPad and the iPhone, and went back to get the actual thing, and it's disappeared. They apparently don't want to, don't want to sell it in Britain anymore unless you subscribe to their mobile phone, account. And I've already got one with Virgin, thank you. So I'm just not going to switch providers for the sake of the headset or the glasses. Anyway, that's another thing. But yeah, the Nreal Light also arrived in America this week. Previously, it had only been available here in Britain and some other European countries, I think. But it arrived in America this week, and Americans are naturally enthusiastic about it, as we all are. However, we don't have much on Nreal today, so I'm going to move on. The launch trailer for the Dual Universe. A lot of people, including our friend Will Burns, have rated this for a long time. Now, the advert promotes it as a game here, but most people consider it as a very good prototype for an actual Metaverse hub, so to speak. Let's have a look anyway. It looks pretty enough.
What is Dual Universe? That's a tough question. We could tell you it's about refugees fighting for a rock to call home. How this prospector explored uncharted lands just to survive and struck it rich by finding that vein of ore. Or how this builder got famous by setting their creativity free and making the most wanted ships in Helios. Or even how hard it was for them to launch their first rocket to space.
Yeah.
We could show you hundreds of constructs, with every voxel built by players. We could show you villages and cities coming alive. Marvels of art and architecture come to life from player imagination. A luxury ship and giant space stations. Or a little cabin in the woods. Cozy homes and some... Oops. Sorry. We could tell you the story of survivors who cooperated to build an industrial empire. Or the tale of pirates forming their fleet to attack a space station. Or was it the space station who attacked them? Guess we'll never know who shot first. We could show you all of that. But you see, we have no idea what's going to happen in this universe. How will this world evolve? How will you leave your mark? Only you know. It's all up to you.
So there you go. Very obviously promoted as a kind of science fiction scenario there, but it has been in beta quite a while. And the two things I do know is that everything you've seen there, rather like the early Second Life, it's built by the residents. I don't think they call them residents, but it's user-created world. Now, Dual Universe is actually, I believe it's a lot of it's open source, so that it's actually run by a company, as it were. there's a corporate entity behind it. But I suppose it has a bit in common with what Linden Labs' approach was at the start. Whether I love science fiction, so I quite like looking at that, but whether that kind of publicity will make it appeal to people that aren't into gaming or science fiction, which apparently it is very good for. I don't know, but we were kind of seeing. I believe it's on Steam, but I believe it's in headset land and on a flat screen too, if you want it. Okay. The first version of this came from the All Conference ages ago. But anyway, they want to reboot it. It's a VR comedy show called the Spatial Show, and this is their little quick promotional trailer.
Is your avatar trying to kill and replace you?
Hello, please. Need a two-hour coffee. Texas-style hot steampunk glasses. Combine alcohol and hands-free VR. And
Scott goes there.
Coffee. Virtual. Do not fruit. Virtual coffee. If you die in VR, you die in real life. Wow, the action is here. Go, Leroy! It's like roasted NFT. An identical replica of his Metaverse avatar. With phone booths where you can share and enjoy VR and have phone calls all together. The future is here.
Well, that was the future. Well, they think it is anyway. But how about this one for a bit of history? Yuru. Well, sorry, Miss Yuru is live again, so to speak.
Shora, I don't know where you are now or what you may be doing. If these words reach you somehow, know that we continue to dream of Denis' future. For while time moves on and the mysteries left for us remain on the tapestry, a call beckons. New life continues to flow into the desert as a trickle. We start where we all started, alone in the desert. The cleft, the wound in the earth, the place where all journeys began. The knowledge on that path remains unchanged. The empty desert awaits the storm. Dirt, sand, thirsty for water. They find their way to the home we've made here in Denis together. The cavern lives, breathes. There's music in the halls. There's singing and dancing, laughing and playing. We who remain, gathered, patient many, rest in the light. We find our path in the spirals and the stars. Pages and books and blank as the face open towards us, endings unwritten. We celebrate as we dream of what could be as our pens advance across the pages. We cry as we mourn those we've lost along the way, awaiting this uncertain future. The tree grows again, and while the storm may pass and destruction may come, in spite of that, we are here. Being movers of the least, we've begun to try once more for that grand dream. The next restoration of Denis has begun, and we write our own future now. We are gathering, we are writing and restoring, crafting our own destiny. I wish that you could see it for yourself. May peace find you, explorer, for Denis lives. Uru again.
Oh, it looks lovely, doesn't it? For those of you who thought it looked familiar, you've probably now guessed that that was part of what was promoted as Mist Online. Now, You're Live has got I mean, basically the whole Mist side of it was thrown open, you know, to, I suppose, what you call fan community, I don't know. And Euro Online was on and off and on and off, and it is now on again. But all the stuff you see there already exists, and as far as I can tell, like Dual Universe we saw a minute ago, all, you know, this is all open source code and has been built by users. In other words, Cyan, who of course made the original Mist and all the wonderful successors, visually their influence is huge there, but apparently, you know, a lot of that is actually created by developers who, you know, taking the open source code, as it were, and creating it there. I don't think it's multiplayer. I'm not at all sure about that, but it certainly looks nice. And with a revamp like that, I might try and get it if I can use an on-screen version. So that's it for my main clips this week. I don't have time for any of the longer clips, I'm afraid. Moving on to the web links, which we have here. Right. This post is at the Media Culture Co. TheMetaCulture.co, not com, just co. And looking at the staging screen, virtual creators take the next step. And really, this is all about how virtual reality type environments are, you know, getting bigger and better in terms of virtual Hollywood, which is their name for the cinema, basically. And it's quite a roundup here. You know, it's it looks at various experiences and whatever that are probably, I don't know how to describe it. They're basically online experiences. Some you pay to see, some you don't. But they have run times like video, like cinema. So they're sort of between the idea of cinema film and interactive VR worlds. So they're VR experiences, I suppose. And they're on, the most of the ones written about there are actually online. Okay, some well, it's not self-promotion, but important promotion here actually, and that is the Open Simulator Community Conference, which is in the Open Simulator platform. In fact, has put out a call for. Oh, this is slow. This is not as they agree. Oh, sorry. There we are. Right. It's a call for proposals. So if you're actually doing anything active in Open Simulator on that platform and want to submit proposals for presentations or panels or anything else like that, the call is out and they do need to be in by October 17th. And again, I have no idea why this is not. No, that's not what it. Damn. None of my pages work in reading mode today. Never mind. This is obviously another one that won't convert. Yeah, so it'll be December 10th to 11th is the actual conference. And we'll bring you more on this as things happen. But the 17th of October means you've literally only got about 2 weeks to, you know, put your proposals in. Both James and I will bring you news on this as we go because we're both tangentially involved in it anyway. So that will do for now. Right. Oh. Why have I got... Okay, me no understanding what's going on here. Never mind, I got the same thing twice. Okay. And we've seen that one already, so sorry, I'm a bit disappointed. Right, okay. Introduction. This is a site called frontiersinorg. FRONTIERSIN. And it's all about well, therapy and trauma and stuff like that in being treated in VR. I'm just going to quickly flip. Oddly enough, I would quite like to see the web page. Oh, right. Okay, I haven't fully read this. I downloaded it. It's actually a PDF you can download here. So it's serious stuff. Narrative self-recreation in virtual reality. Only an academic would come up with a title like that, but interesting nonetheless, he says. Right, better you than me. Right, moving on. The week in XR. New headwear from Unreal and Lenovo, both of which I mentioned earlier. We saw their video for Lenovo's headset there, and there we are. These are the Unreal glasses, which they're the ones I want to find because they plug into iPhones and Macintoshes and the iPad now. So basically, you just need converters for USB-C to Apple's connectors. and fine. And there's even a special app that Lenovo can sell you to as a sort of interface. Quite a lot of reviews. Some say too expensive. Some say just the thing. Blah blah blah. Lots of as a big screen cinema or viewer or an AR product, very highly rated. Obviously, this is not VR per se, although there may be films that you can show big screen that actually are interactive. If you see what I mean, it would depend on the source of the material loading it into them. I've always liked this idea because it means everything is very lightweight, and you just attach a cable to the phone in your pocket, for example, if you're traveling. If you're at home, you can plug them into your desktop and just replace this big screen with a super big screen. 46 degrees field of view, and it's the equivalent of watching a 130-inch screen from about 3 meters away, or a 201-inch screen from 6 meters. So the screen doesn't have a measurement in itself. It just depends on how you configure it. The reviews say there is a bit of light coming in, which I suppose you would expect from a pair of glasses. They aren't goggles with like rubber seals around them. But going down, fairly well anyway. And okay, oh yes, a company called Hayden. I think I mentioned this last week. They've raised $30 million to power the metaverse. So, $30 million. It needs to be really. I don't know how much it's worth because this is a UK-based startup, and whatever $30 million is worth, probably about £1 these days. The way which I don't know.
Yikes!
They better import it quickly before there is any exchange rate left to use. Anyway, I'll leave that to them. I'm sure the world of tech will sort that stuff out in the end. And I'll leave it at that. But this, of course, is Charlie Fink's column at forbes.com. So to get it, you want forbes.com. And that, of course, is a couple of days old, but it's around, like this, it's a roundup of the week. Newscientist.com. Neil Stevenson, who's launched a product called Lamina One, has talked about it, and this post is a New Scientist, which of course is a sort of recognised scientific journal here in the UK, well, probably all over the world these days. NEWSCIENTIST.com, and Matthew Sparks authors the thing. It's not an interview, that comes later, but it's basically talking about the launch. Stevenson is really promoting open XR standards and the Metaverse Standards Forum, etc., etc. And hopefully I'm coming. I hope I've got another clip later, which is of some importance now. So let me just see. Oh God, I need to. Remember, I must delete the ones I covered already, lest I get confused. Poor old me gets confused with my screen here. Right. VRARA is the Virtual Reality Augmented Reality Association, and they've got chapters all over the world, basically. But they're kicking off their global summit at the moment, and it started on. Hang on, it's over. Okay, during the course of this week, there have been a few things coming out of there, but it's rather odd. Not any excessive videos or anything online, which they do normally publish some. It may be they've recorded and they're holding back stuff to put online until the paying customers in Portugal have had a have their money's worth. Anyway, yes, that's actually at xrtoday.com, xrtoday.com, but obviously it's history now. Next link goes to a place called WEF Forum, WEFORUM.org. WEF is the World Economic Forum. Big place. And they had an opinion piece up in the week. They're doing a lot of metaverse stuff these days, which is great. Sort of senior economists and sorry about that, folks. You know what pop-ups are like. Right, opinion. What is meta work? we must have heard that phrase before, but it took me by surprise. Metaworld, oh, Metaworld, yeah, of course. And how can it benefit us? So, you know, they're looking at sort of, you know, how working online in virtuality or whatever they call meta work will benefit the world in the future. So it's part of a season called Shaping the Future of Media, Entertainment and Sport. You can listen to it on audio for 8 minutes, or you can actually just read about it as well. So you'll find that at WEF Forum, WEFOFUM.org. And that's that. Moving down the list here, we go to arinsider.co.uk. So ARINSIDER.co. It's another co again, CO, no M. Right, Spatial Beats, authored by Charlie Fink. This is the newer one he does now. Earlier in the week for a complete, not for Forbes, but for AR Insider. And what can I say? It's another one of his roundups. Being earlier in the week, it was probably more up to date than the one he does at the end of the week, which is more like ours. But at least it's not the week before, like Scar Ghost is. But they're all great sites to get a roundup. So arinsider.co is for this one. And moving down, all these are some regular recommendations for every week, really. Tom Fisk, as I think I meant to pronounce it, RP1 unveils a tech demo with 100,000 players and devs keep all the revenue. Well, this is interesting. It's a shardless metaverse, and somehow they managed to get 100,000 users into a land area of 20 square kilometers, playing multiple activities and playing different experiences where the developers actually keep all the revenue. So I don't know how much, when it talks about revenue, I don't know how much these people, 100,000 people paid to get in. It sounds like a moneymaker, doesn't it? Anyway, when can you see the demo? Well, they're demoing a 4,000 player version with various companies and key individuals, and publish a roadmap next year. So it's simply called RP1. I guess that's Roleplay 1 or something. Right, you'll find this link, the article at immersivewire.com, immersivewire.com. Moving down the list to the one I just mentioned, the place we very often start, actually, but today is where we're almost finishing it. It's the Scar Ghost, and we probably have a sound effect ready for this. Oh, that's very good. You're pleased with yourself. We've so far only got an hour. We're going to get a half-hour show today. I think this is amazing. Okay. So I shall adopt this motor mouth persona. Actually, it won't be half hour. I haven't done the embedded videos yet, but we're getting close. So this is the Skull Ghost, otherwise known as Tony Vitillo, with his roundup of the week, except it's actually the week before last. So this came out, well, it's actually out on Tuesday, not Monday this week, but it was a roundup of all the latest news. So from the week before that last, if you missed anything, he's almost certainly covered it here, because this guy, I don't know, he's got, but he's a strange personality, but obviously he must have been born with about 8 hands, actually, because the amount of typing and entry he gets in here, as well as doing all the other stuff. There's some people are just very quick about this sort of thing, aren't they? And then, the more news section, and I know it's Tim Cook. There was another Apple event of very little consequence, actually, during the week. But they seem to have abandoned the old Steve Jobs thing of one more thing. But it's good to know that Scar Ghost keeps it going in a fashion. Right. Okay. So, I shouldn't give you the address there. It's scarghost.com. So, SKARREDGHOST.com. And we'll put that one away. Another good place to check for stuff, to be honest, is what have I got here? Something's a bit odd here. Right, never mind. Let me go. Oh, yeah, voicesofvr.com. We haven't got any this week, which is most unusual, but a real home of a lot of great audio podcasts and stuff. voicesvr.com to check that out. Also, another news release here about Rec Room. They've got a new Unity powered creation suite. I think this was mentioned last week. It's bringing us industry standard tools, i.e. Unity, to a social VR platform. And they released, actually we watched this video last week somewhere else. So this is really just a summary of what it is and what it's doing, and you find this at roadtovr.com, roadtovr.com. And then be xrtoday.com, yes again, xrtoday.com, announcing that Pico are launching a Horizon Worlds Metaverse competitor. In other words, it's not a thing called Metaverse competitor in Horizon Worlds, it is a competitor to Horizon Worlds. And I don't really see anything wrong with that, do you folks? No, I didn't think you would. Right, ByteDance pushes head-to-head with Meta with Enterprise Edition devices. And they've even got rather like Horizons, or whatever it's called, that Zuckerberg has. They actually have a platform called Pico Worlds to go with the Pico headset, although it may well work without the Pico headset, who knows. And the Pico Neo 3 Link. Oh, that's some other, I think that's some sort of infrared AR device that sort of can actually it's a special transmitter that works on IR, but actually sends virtual reality vision from one source to another. Not quite sure how that works. But anyway, you can find out more at xrtoday.com, xrtoday.com for that roundup. And right, now, this is, right. Okay, so no, that's other stuff. Okay, so moving on. This is my Mastodon feed, which has all this sort of online videos of any great importance about XR and stuff of the week embedded here. If I catch them, that is, or if they go, there's sometimes some faults. All the stuff you see here does get published in my Twitter feed too, so if you just follow my Twitter feed, you will see the links to here anyway. But you can follow me Mastodon, or indeed you can click through on any of these and go straight to YouTube or Vimeo or wherever the post is. Charlie Fink's regular Week in XR podcast is back as always. They were just on their own last week, but this week they've actually got Amy Lemire, who's the general partner of the Women's XR Fund, as their guest, and that's about, if I remember rightly, that's 30 minutes, 34 minutes this week.
Our This Week in XR podcast
is
sponsored by our friends at
worthy of notice the fact the first 4 minutes are now dedicated to an advert. But it's probably 30 minutes plus advert, 5-minute advert. Okay, part 2 of To Build a Metaverse, which is from the Wall Street Journal, in fact. You can listen to it on Spotify. This one is all about avatars behaving badly, and it looks back again at sort of Second Life mostly. I think Philip's in there as well, but it's not like the big thing in the first edition. And it's got it's got all the sensational stuff, basically, that Second Life... did they benefit from it, or did they get forever tarred by it? I don't know. Flying penises and all the rest of it, it was all there. I guess that's where avatars behaving badly comes from. So that's part 2. It's almost like a history of a metaverse rather than how to build a metaverse, but they need a different name, don't they? Okay. Also, a day ago we had the latest edition of Between Realities with Jay Bratt, and again looking at VR. This is quite interesting because the guys here at Mixed Realities are also, I know they are still here with their guests.
Frankly, I wouldn't even be surprised, dude. I feel like you're getting better at games.
Right, yeah. When they got a guest, the video from the guest comes in that little bit there. Again, click through YouTube, or you can play here. This is a 90-minute one, so it's no small publish that. Right. Oh, this is an interview. Actually, this I think is one of the interviews from that event we were talking about. That I didn't think there'd been any Yeah, in Portugal. This is an outside broadcast interview. It's
Welcome to XR Today. My name's David Dungay. We are here reporting live from Immerse Global Summit in the beautiful Madeira. I'm here with Maxim, futurist, strategic advisor, film producer, a man of many talents. How are you doing, Maxim?
I'm very well, thank you.
that sounds it. This was an excellent little conversation. It's actually only 10 minutes, well, 12 minutes long. I would play it here now, but we don't have time. But I'm sure you can find it either via my Twitter account or the thingy here, Mastodon account, which, by the way, if you want it directly, it's mastodon.social, mastodon.social / and then the @ symbol, and then Metaworld in lowercase. And right, also another information session, which it was a global prize in VR. Well, September 21st. It was what's the name? We got a lot of this
Hello,
stuff.
everybody. This is Samantha from Exponential Destiny.
I
And
forget.
you need to have a wow factor and education factor. Two things we covered, I think, in information.
Safety and trust, and also curiosity. Like they're coming there, and so
That's Amy. What's her name?
Everyone...
Yeah, but building empathy in the metaverse is the title of that sort of session. So it's about an hour long, but that's it's just a glorified Zoom call really. But it's good. It's good listening. And 4 days ago we have something else, which was High Tech Law Institute. This is a replay of a webinar. Virtuality, real virtues, augmented norms, and the law. Well, laws plural, and no exaggeration there intended. I'm just trying to flip through this. Yeah, this is another Zoom call type thing. But if you're interested in illegal stuff and whatever.
Milligrams experiments today because they're found to be unethical. The risks and
so a major discussion, as lawyers are likely to do, of course, on ethical issues as well here, rather than the actual law. So you've got two in succession there. You've got empathy, and then follow that up with a sort of ethics. This is another hour-long, whatever, Zoom call, I guess. Although there seems to be a TED extract sort of thing inside it. Oh no, sorry, this is Google doing telling me I've got to click here to go to a different interview, a different video, which is not what I want to do at all. Thank you, Google. Okay, and probably the last one here. I'm not entirely sure, so I'll keep going down. But this is this is certainly James's favourite, so I always ask him to comment on this. If you've seen it, of course, this is the VR download from Upload VR, basically, and they're looking at Meta's body tracking, Pico 4, and blah blah blah.
Yep.
James.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed the program, and I, of course, always enjoy David Heaney's commentary. And they really they dug quite a bit into Pico 4, and, it's pluses and minuses. And they had a lot of people watching who were asking about which one should I buy, And I liked the final advice, that what software do you want to use? And, find the one that has the software that you want to use. So that's always good advice.
Very good point. Because even though a slightly substandard headset may have the software you want, whereas the slick one, it's only got proprietary stuff you don't want or something like that. Good point.
Right.
Good point.
Where I work, we have a phrase for dealing with our constituents and say, "Go to people where they are," and so.
Yeah.
You can't expect everyone to come to you in your location. You go to where they are. So, if your headset uses something that all your friends are using, you're in good shape.
Yeah. So we can abandon all our conferences and go to where they are.
That's right.
Hang on, that doesn't work. How do we take 200 people to where? Yeah. Anyway,
and people are so excited about the Pico, but its company doesn't have a better privacy reputation than Facebook does. So there's there are going to be trade-offs for sure.
The British media here has been full of a court case basically, and somebody from Pinterest turned out to be a witness, and Meta reluctantly sent somebody along who was apparently she wasn't in contempt of court, but they weren't happy with her, whereas Pinterest had done a lot in the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a major criminal case, and it found that, well, Meta, by virtue of the fact they own Pinterest, right? There's grounds for prosecuting them for emotional distress, and basically a girl died. She committed suicide because she'd been flooded by, you know, sort of the pushing of products on Facebook, not the communication thing of her friends, but the actual fact that they knew so much about her, they were pushing her into stuff, most of which was totally inappropriate for her, both of her age and of her interest, you know, and sort of it just all led to a suicide.
Yeah,
So
preying upon their self-identity is terrible.
Yeah, yeah. So the US government is furious, and they're threatening to ban Instagram from the country, and also heavily fine Lord Zuki's company. Anyway, moving down. So actually, I guess all trussed up lady needs as much money as she can get now. The trouble is, if they find her, he'll pay in dollars, and they're worthless. Well, they're not worthless, but they are here.
I'm not sure if we're seeing the same screen that you're looking at, Mel.
No, I've moved down a bit here to another one.
Oh, okay. Because what I see going through Screen Leap is was something else, but okay.
Oh, right. Oh, that's sort of odd. Yeah, I've moved down to another one. This is 5 days ago.
Okay. Yep.
This is spearheading the 3D revolution. It's the open Metaverse podcast. So again, it's looking at you know, open Metaverse kind of stuff. Open Metaverse is a regular podcast. I get this through Spotify anyway. This obviously has some more visual in it, but it's the sort of thing you can probably listen to without visuals, really. And oh god, a lot this week. Okay, one more actually. VR Crewcast, another one we've been covering recently. Looking at VR games and the hype, and tons of VR news, basically, in a very general sense. And this is 1 hour and.
Oh, damn. They do, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite interesting though. They are like it's 1 hour 50 minutes. But this is where the mixed reality guys they're on this too. They've been on both of these since it started, plus these other guests. They're interesting. They're all male, and they're all sort of gamer types. Though that doesn't mean they're not covering virtual reality as a thing, you know. But when I sort of see these things, I listen to them. But then I think, you know, oh, I'm getting fed up. This is boys talking, you know. But I'm not saying it's not worthy of your attention one way or another. And so that's it. Oh yeah, F Reality didn't come out this week. They're on vacation, I think. Okay, so that's all the additional video stuff there. So we are finally at the end of the show, James. So we have made it to 45 minutes. So there we go. Any thoughts?
No, that was nicely quick again. So I think we're good to go.
So I've been doing bodybuilding on my avatar, and I've been fine-tuning the motor mouth. Who knows what we'll get next week, but we will return. Same time, same place, same channel, blah, blah, blah. And there is one thing, I haven't included it here. I don't know what's happened to it, but there is another conference coming up in about February and March next year. And it's the OMI group, of which I'm I follow. I'm their town hall every week following things. So Open Metaverse Initiative. They're actually one of the guests there, along with which is so surprising because it shows that they've made a rather an impact. They're actually listed as one of the main participants, along with the likes of NVIDIA and Neil Stephenson's company and all that stuff. So where the announcement has gone to, I don't know, but I will bookmark it again so that I've got it up for you next week. You will find it, like many other things, on my Twitter feed. My Twitter feed basically has a load of other links that you don't get here because I only can do the highlights here. Anyway, as I said, we're off. If you're watching us live, which is a vague possibility you are, you can get us all week long or all century long for that matter. if you're watching us live, we'll be off air for, I suppose, about 15 minutes before we come back on air with our program called the In-World Review, which is a sort of arts and destinations program for Open Simulator and the Hypergrid, which is a major part of the Open Metaverse, so to speak. So, until we meet again, it's goodbye from me and it's goodbye from him, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's easy. You see, we don't have to do our we two watches. Right, okay, bye for now. Oh, and have a good week. Stay healthy and everything else. Remember to be healthy still.
Okay.